University in Milwaukee, same place as justice across the country, I realize it's a moral imperative. I mean, that means we need to have people, young people have access to a great education, be it in a traditional public school, in a charter school, in a choice school with a voucher. He just finished his sophomore year at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. And I tell people that.
Whether it's good or bad, I do know that when I talk to voters, there's an overwhelming sense, voters I talk to across the country want somebody new. They don't want a name from the past. They want someone new and fresh. They want someone from outside of Washington. They've had it with Washington and people related to Washington. They want someone with big, bold ideas. And most importantly, I think what I hear is they want someone who does more than talk about it, who can deliver.
Someone's and you find that on both sides of the political spectrum, whether it's Jeb Bush or Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is I think as Republicans, I like Jeb. Jeb's a friend of mine. I think he was a decent governor. I think he's actually a very good governor in Florida. My gripe with him is not his past record. I just think if I were to get in, we haven't made that decision yet, but if we were to get in, people say, well, why would you run against someone you know and like on a lot of issues? I said, well, because I just have a hard time, from what I hear voters, thinking that we can compete against Hillary Clinton, a name from the past with another name from the past. I think people want somebody new. And I don't just think Republicans want someone new. I think increasingly voters, particularly independent voters.
Provide as many quality educational choices for parents as possible, because I trust parents. I know in the end, if you give them the best choices possible, they're going to make the choice that is. People ask, what did we do 4 years ago in the state of Wisconsin? What we did was simple. We took the path.
I'm not a member of Congress right now, so I'm not in a position to vote one way or the other on that. But I think for the next president, if I were to run, if I were to be a candidate, and ultimately if I were to be elected, I would go forward trying to make sure that we had a strong intelligence system that allowed us to collect the information we need to make sure that we and our families and our loved ones are safe here. And I think that requires us to be able to have access to information. We just need to make sure there's also safeguards in to make sure that that information is used with people where there's legitimate concerns about people being related to enemy combatants, and not just a wide open situation that would violate people's basic privacy rights.
Mm-hmm. I remember listening to Justice talk about it. I can remember years before being governor, when I was the county executive, maybe you know, we were under a little.
Again, I wasn't involved in it, so I mean, the bottom line is the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation has a whole merit-based system on it. It's not something I played any direct role in. And for those, even today, who are claiming it's some big deal, I said, I think it's largely a partisan witch hunt on their part.
They can pay based on performance. That means we can put the best and the brightest in our classrooms, and we can keep them there. It's not just about hiring. I mean, if you give people choices, it will raise the ability to educate our children at all different levels. And so I'm proud.